What if I told you that Tom King's court showdown over his abuse of Belle Dingle doesn't go as planned? The twisted abuser stirs up even more chaos, leaving the entire village in shock. Meanwhile, Belle's fragile mental health takes a dangerous turn, and she mysteriously disappears. But that's just the start. Get ready for heartbreak as a beloved character bids farewell after 13 years. And if that wasn't enough, a jaw-dropping revelation from John Sugden leaves Aaron Dingle completely shattered. Stay tuned as we dive into the top 7 must-know spoilers for Emmerdale, and trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this drama. 1. Tom tries to take his own life. The drama takes a dark turn when chaos erupts in the prison, and guards sound a code red in Tom King's cell. The news spreads quickly, and Belle Dingle is left reeling when she hears that Tom has been rushed to the hospital after attempting to take his own life. With Tom's court case looming, everyone is left wondering whether it will proceed, or if this shocking turn of events will throw everything into disarray. For Belle, the weight of it all becomes unbearable. Despite her family rallying around her, she's consumed by guilt and fear, haunted by the possibility that she might somehow be responsible for Tom's actions. Her anxiety starts to take over, leaving her questioning if she has the strength to push through or if Tom's actions will break her completely. 2. Charity visits Tom. Belle turns to her Uncle Paddy for advice, desperate to make sense of everything after Tom's suicide attempt. She's hoping he can help her figure out her feelings and ease some of the guilt she's been carrying. But let's face it, Paddy's been through a lot himself, and his words could go either way. Will he offer the reassurance Belle so badly needs, or will his own struggles and perspective leave her feeling even more conflicted? Meanwhile, Charity Dingle, being, well, Charity, takes matters into her own hands and sneaks her way into Tom's hospital room. Tom is caught completely off guard by her sudden visit, and things get tense fast. Charity doesn't hold back and goes straight for the jugular, accusing Tom of faking his suicide to sabotage the court case and Belle's testimony. It's a bold move, but it forces Tom to confront the truth. Whether he planned it or not, Charity's words hit a nerve, and for a moment there's this flicker of clarity in Tom's eyes, but as Charity lets her emotions get the better of her, it all backfires. She realizes that her visit may have done more harm than good. If anything, her confrontation only proves to Tom that Belle is spiraling, which is exactly what he wanted to hear. Charity, usually so sure of herself, is left regretting her impulsive decision, knowing it might have just made everything even worse for Belle. 3. Belle vanishes from the Dingles. When Tom's solicitor Ollie visits him in the hospital, Tom wastes no time sharing his latest theory, that Belle won't testify against him. He seems oddly confident, almost like he knows something no one else does. The way he talks about Belle, it's clear he's banking on her guilt and mental state to work in his favor. But is he right, or is this just wishful thinking on his part? Either way, Tom's smugness is impossible to ignore, and it sets the stage for the drama to come. Meanwhile, over at the Dingles, things take a mysterious turn. Early in the morning, just as the family is gearing up for the court day, Belle leaves behind a cryptic note and quietly slips away without telling anyone where she's going. The move catches everyone off guard and raises a lot of questions. Back in his hospital room, Tom is already gearing up to play his part, looking confident and ready to deliver a performance in court that he's clearly rehearsed. It's a moment that leaves viewers wondering, has Belle truly given up, or does she have a plan of her own? 4. Tom's trial kicks off. The Dingles are in full panic mode when they realize Belle is nowhere to be found. They waste no time springing into action, desperately trying to track her down. But the situation takes a grim turn when the prosecution barrister delivers some devastating news. Without Belle's testimony, the case against Tom might not hold up. It's a brutal blow for the family, who know how much this case means, not just for Belle, but for justice to be served. The pressure is mounting and the clock is ticking. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Tom's solicitor Ollie delivers the update Tom's been waiting for. Belle hasn't shown up at court. Tom's smugness is practically radiating at this point, clearly satisfied that his manipulation is paying off. This is exactly what he wanted. Belle broken, the case in jeopardy, and the upper hand firmly in his grasp. As the jury gathers and the trial inches closer, Tom is more than ready to step into the spotlight, oozing confidence and self-assurance. But while Tom basks in his own triumph, the absence of Belle leaves an unsettling tension in the air. The Dingles are scrambling, the prosecution is faltering, and the village is holding its breath to see how this will all unfold. Tom may think he's won, but with Belle's unpredictable nature and the Dingle family's determination, it's anyone's guess whether his victory will last. 5. Amelia leaves the Dales. Amelia drops the bombshell that she's leaving the village, and it's a bittersweet moment for everyone around her. To give her a proper send-off, Amy throws together a last-minute farewell party, hoping to make Amelia feel loved and appreciated before she goes. But the celebration takes a hit when Carrie, someone Amelia deeply cares about, doesn't show up. It's clear this stings Amelia, and what was meant to be a warm goodbye starts to feel incomplete without Carrie there to share it with her. When the time comes for Amelia to leave, the emotions hit hard. Saying goodbye isn't easy, and it's written all over her face how much this decision is weighing on her. But there's still one big question hanging in the air. Will Carrie really let her leave without showing up for one last goodbye? With so much left unsaid between them, the thought of leaving without closure makes the farewell even more complicated for Amelia. 6. Aaron and John take next step. Aaron isn't exactly thrilled when John springs a surprise camping trip on him. It's not really his idea of fun. But as the trip goes on, something shifts. Out in the middle of nowhere, with no distractions, John starts to let his guard down and opens up in a way Aaron didn't expect. Their conversations grow deeper, and suddenly, what seemed like a bad idea turns into a moment of real connection. By the end of it, the two share something truly meaningful, confessing their love for each other and solidifying their bond in a way neither of them saw coming. Meanwhile, Carrie notices that Pollard is struggling to keep on top of his housework and steps in to lend a hand. But things take a hilarious turn when Brenda overhears noises from upstairs and completely misreads the situation. It's classic miscommunication, and knowing Brenda, it's bound to lead to some awkward moments and over-the-top reactions. Elsewhere, Marlon finds himself at his wits' end with April, who's suddenly gone full-on rebellious. As he tries to get through to her, he's left wondering where all this defiance is coming from. And while all this unfolds, Bob starts organizing a carol concert in Heath's memory, determined to bring the community together and honor Heath in a way that feels special and meaningful. It's a mix of chaos, love, and reflection across the village. 7. Kim asks Dawn to move back. Kim is deeply touched when Will suggests their vow renewal should be a small, intimate affair. It feels personal, thoughtful, and exactly the kind of gesture she needs to remind her of their love. But things take a surprising turn when she realizes Will doesn't plan on inviting their family. That part doesn't sit well with Kim. Family is everything to her, even if relationships have been complicated. However, her doubts fade when Dawn lights up at the idea of attending the ceremony. Dawn's enthusiasm gives Kim a boost, and in her excitement, she invites Dawn to move back into home farm. For a moment, it feels like everything is falling into place. Meanwhile, Dawn and Billy are juggling their own family pressures. After consulting the doctor about little Evan's treatment, they're overjoyed to hear he might be home for Christmas. It's the good news they desperately needed. But their celebration is short-lived when Billy refuses outright to move back to home farm. Dawn is caught in the middle. On one hand, moving back would mean stability for the kids. On the other, Billy's strong stance makes her question what's truly best for their family. Back at home farm, Will is feeling the heat. His carefully laid plans start to crumble when Kim announces that not only will Dawn and the kids be at the vow renewal, but they're also considering moving back in. For Will, this is the last thing he wants. His schemes rely on keeping things as they are, and Dawn's return could throw a major wrench into everything. The pressure is mounting, and Will's usual calm demeanor starts to crack as he scrambles to regain control of the situation. Just when things couldn't get more chaotic, Billy and Dawn are blindsided by Jai's sudden demand to vacate Holdgate within a week. The timing couldn't be worse, and Dawn feels the weight of the situation crashing down on her. She's frustrated by Billy's stubborn refusal to move back to home farm, despite their circumstances. For Dawn, home farm is starting to look like their only real option, but for Billy it's a hard no. His issues with Will and the house's toxic history make it a line he's unwilling to cross. As Dawn shows up at home farm with her belongings, ready to make the move, Will is visibly panicking. He tries everything to dissuade her, doing his best to convince her that moving in isn't the right choice. But Dawn, determined to do what she thinks is best for her family, doesn't back down. It's a tense standoff, with Will feeling the walls close in tighter and tighter. Between the vow renewal, the family drama, and his own scheming, it's clear Will's house of cards is on the verge of collapsing. And that's all for today's Emmerdale spoilers. With courtroom drama, emotional farewells, and home farm chaos brewing, the village is heading for some jaw-dropping moments you won't want to miss. What do you think about Tom's trial outcome and Belle's shocking disappearance? Will Dawn and Billy find a way to put their family first, or is the home farm drama too much to handle? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed these spoilers and want to stay in the loop on all the latest Emmerdale twists, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.